As of this recording, Elsie has not been born yet.
Welcome to Crocks in the Kitchen.
I am Brian.
And I am Jessica.
Yes.
We're still waiting for Elsie.
Still waiting.
But she's going to be coming very, 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 very soon.
Yeah.
This will probably be our last video we film, maybe. Well, maybe one more.
Yeah, but even then, we're filming that one sooner than later, and
yeah, we're filming that one after this one.
By the time you see the next video after this one, Elsie will most likely be here. If she's not here, then something very strange has happened.
Oh, that's
not bad, just strange. Just not bad, just strange.
Okay.
But we decided that we were going to answer a few questions from you guys.
We've been getting a lot of questions.
Tons
and
of
a lot
questions.
of the same question over and over. So we just were like, okay, it's time for a Q&A. We haven't done one in a while. So let's answer some questions and get it all done before Elsie comes and changes our whole lives.
Yes.
So the first question, I actually kind of like this question. Somebody was like, how are you both really doing? We're going to do this individually. I'm doing really well right now. I'm feeling really well. Physically, I'm feeling good. After the COVID that we just got last week, or well, I don't know, it's been over 10 days now. After the COVID, like my body sprung back and was like, yeah, let's do all the things. Like as far as getting stuff done around the house. Mentally, I'm doing really, really well. I feel like this time and space that we've had together over the last few weeks in Columbus, just getting ready for Elsie and having like, no offense to my in-laws, we love you, but just having like the space to ourselves and just getting, I don't know, I feel like mentally I'm in a really, really good space right now, and I'm just doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. No, I'm feeling pretty darn great, actually. Like you said, everything's moving along very nicely, and we're just doing our thing. Life is vastly better than it was a year ago.
Yeah, a year ago I was going through chemo. I was completely bald. Like everything was just falling apart and crumbling, and now we're like, we're on the upswing.
I actually saw a picture of you and Tess, like right around the time we did the implantation, and you had like very short hair, and you guys were all smiling and everything, and yet at the same time I was like, oh yeah, that's right, that actually happened in the past. Like that was, it is so strange to me that it's actually become a memory and not like something I'm currently living in. So for that, I'm very happy.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so now we're going to go on to some questions that you guys have about baby-related things.
Yes.
First question is, that we get a million times, is what exactly do you plan to feed your baby?
Food.
So,
preferably stuff she can eat at the time, and then when she gets older, she will eat more food.
So, initially, my cousin Tess, who's carrying our baby for us, is planning on pumping, and so she will hopefully be able to supply Elsie with breast milk, and we will use that initially. Then we are looking into different kinds of, I'll hold off on that for 1 second, because the next question is Elsie going to be forced to drink plant-based formula? So I thought this question was funny because I was like, well, if I give her milk-based formula, you could also say, is Elsie going to be forced to drink cow's milk formula? Like,
they have goat milk formula too.
I'm just saying, like, anything you give a baby, they're not really choosing. And
true.
So the best option that we could do, I agree with a lot of what people say, the best option is breast milk, and that's why Tess is going to try to pump for us. If it doesn't work out, we want it to be as easy as possible for Tess.
Mm-hmm.
I have looked a little bit into getting like donor breast milk, but I feel like whenever I read about it, it's, there's such a shortage on everything right now. I feel like I don't want to take away from some baby that needs it more than we do. So I still need to do a little bit more research when it comes to that. But we have options, we have plans in place. We're just gonna do our thing, and that's gonna be how it is.
Baby has to get fed. It's that simple. Like there is no if and or but about that. Like whatever we need to do to get the job done, that is happening.
I do prefer, my preference obviously would be for her not to have any like cow's milk or animal milk based formula.
Yes.
Just my preference. Along with that, people have asked, are we planning on raising a whole food plant-based child? And the answer to that would be yes.
She's going to eat what we eat.
She's going to eat what we eat, and we eat a predominantly whole food plant-based diet. And we are just going to lead by example. But we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what, we're hoping that she will love and embrace that lifestyle. But we're never going to, I don't know, as she gets older and is able to make her own decisions, we're not going to be able to, force her to do certain things. We're just going to hope that she sees the benefits that we have gotten and that we can teach her a lot more than we knew when we were younger.
True.
That's our main thing, is there's so much more about food and our relationship with food and the kinds of food and all that we know now, that I wish that I had known growing, like I wish that was taught in schools more and all that kind of stuff. So we'll be a resource for her to teach her that stuff. And
yes.
That's what I'm excited about.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. What are you can go with this one. What are you most looking forward to and are most nervous about being new parents?
What am I most looking forward to is seeing Elsie develop as her personality grows, what she likes, what she will be interested in. Like the baby phase, don't get me wrong, I am very much looking forward to that. But it's all the stuff afterwards that I think is the more interesting aspects of having a child, and that is her personality and that development. What am I most nervous about? I am terrified that I will fail her in an epic way. And it's not that I'm like thinking that it's a real possibility that I'm just going to royally screw her up. I don't think I am, okay? But what I'm saying is that like if I can raise her up and have her not make some of the mistakes that I've made, I will think that I have done a good job as a parent. Right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I just want her to be happy and healthy, and anything else that she wants to do with her life, I'm cool.
It is really funny because we realized very early into the pregnancy that I was, and still to a certain extent, unable to imagine Elsie as being older and only think about like her being a baby and like a little toddler, whereas Brian thinks about like the beyond that. And I think initially it was because there was, in the last year and a half of my life, there's been so much thought about my life being cut short that like I couldn't even visualize my life past like 4 or 5 years or whatever. And so hopefully as the years go by, that hopefully I continue to get good scans and that, continue to be no evidence of disease and no cancer reoccurring, I'll be able to sort of like embrace and like visualize further on. But we thought that was kind of interesting. The next question is, what are you most excited to do with Elsie? I think for both of us, it's travel.
Yes.
We want to show her.
Travel is definitely number one.
We want to show her everything. We want to show her the world. We want to like share all the fun stuff that we've done together with her and like show her all the things.
And I will also say that on top of that then is to travel and then like showing her music.
Oh yes,
and
concerts.
and for me, movies and stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
I think I know every guy that I'm like friends with, any children that they would possibly have, they're looking forward to that day when they can show their kids like the movies that they loved.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm really looking forward to that one.
Okay, any advice on how to bond with baby? And this was from another person who had used a gestational carrier like we are. So I would say when I started, it sounds really weird because we've been so far away. So we've been in St. Louis. My cousin lives in Columbus. Now we're in Columbus. So we've been in Columbus the last several weeks. And that's been nice, like being closer. But I would say, like, as far as bonding, it was really hard to, like, because there would be days in the beginning of the pregnancy that days would go by where I wouldn't be even thinking about, oh my gosh, we're having a baby. Like, if I was pregnant, there's no way I wouldn't be thinking about it.
Yep.
So it was very difficult. I think that it's not necessarily bonding, but it's sort of just like making this whole pregnancy a reality for me. Was when I started like buying some of the little baby clothes and like doing research on baby things and just like immersing myself in that way. As far as like actually bonding with her, just being as close to Tess as we can, whenever we can, obviously has been good. And then Tess also is able to, share our voices with her whenever she wants because we have a plethora of videos out there. So hopefully she like knows us. I don't know.
She will. And, we've got plenty of time to bond with her.
Yeah,
so,
I think that once she gets out, like that actually might be what I am most looking forward to right now about becoming a parent is just being able to hold my baby because I haven't been able to hold my baby in my belly. And so like just being able to like do that initial skin on skin and just like being able to be close to her is what I'm just looking forward to, those like precious moments that we'll have together. Somebody asked, will the birth certificate have Tess or Jessica as the mother? After a bunch of legal stuff, a very long contract, a lot of back and forth, lawyers, all kinds of things. It's set up so that we will be on the birth certificate, and all that. So there's a lot of legal stuff involved with
tons
surrogacy.
of legal stuff. Yep.
Are you both going to be at the birth?
Yes.
Yes, we will both be in the room. It will be me, Brian, Tess, and her husband. We will all four be in the room when she's giving birth.
I will be in a corner.
Brian was like, I can step out at any time. I can, whatever. But Tess the other day was just like, you know what? By the time that baby's coming out, I'm not going to care who's looking at what.
But at the same time, Tess is not my wife, and I want to protect her modesty as much as possible. And so I am trying to be very respectful of that fact. And, that's why I will be minding my business in the corner. Although they did say that I will be cutting the cord. So, it's like, unless for some reason the doctor does it. But yeah,
you're doing it.
But yeah, they keep saying that I'm going to do it. So I'm perfectly fine with that, but yeah, I'm going to be in the corner cheering everyone on.
As far as the next category, so that's all the baby stuff we got for now. Well, there's a little bit more baby related stuff coming up, but the next category of questions is food. So a lot of people have asked, what are we eating now? Are we still plant-based? All that kind of stuff. Yes, we are eating plant-based. We've actually both been doing really well over the last several months. Even the transition to Columbus, I feel like we have done really, really well. That was one of the reasons we wanted to get here before baby comes. So that
I know for a fact we've lost weight since we got here.
Yeah, we could cook and stuff like that. Yeah, we've been losing weight. We don't actually have our scale with us, so we don't know. But we definitely...
Clothes are fitting better.
Yes. So what are we eating now? We've been doing a lot of soups and stews. Salads. I've been having salads like most days with the
that pot back there is full of tomato sauce right now.
Here, we are making our own tomato sauce from tomatoes from scratch.
Yeah, from scratch.
And we're gonna actually use some of that sauce to make lasagna stew, which is one of Kim Campbell, Plant Pure, one of her recipes, which is one of my favorites. So we'll link to some of these recipes that we're talking about in the description below. We made Ryan's jambalaya soup. We made, from our favorite book, Health Span Solution, our favorite recipes in there. We made the easy peasy split pea lentil soup from that. Yep. I made the ranch dressing from that to use for salads. What else? We just baked a bunch of potatoes. And you actually used some of the ranch on the potato, didn't you?
Yes.
We also have some butternut cheesy squash that we made from Health Span Solution that's in there that we can put on stuff. What else have we been eating? We're gonna
all
make
sorts of stuff.
We've
eaten out a few times, but
yeah, we've been cooking a lot.
But we have 95%, 99% of what we've done has been in-house, us cooking and making our own recipes.
We did plant-based spaghetti night, and when we had Tess and Jeff over, we did a plant-based taco night.
Oh yeah,
where we had them over. What else? We're gonna make a tofu potato yellow curry dish this week.
Yes.
That isn't really a recipe. We just have like a curry sauce that we're gonna use and then kind of wing it based on something that we like from one of our favorite restaurants back home.
Yep.
So we've been eating a lot of good stuff.
Lots of tasty food.
Okay, do you miss any meals that you grew up with? Any like non plant-based meals? What do you miss that you grew up with?
Can you guess?
Biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy. All right, I know it's not anything of remote health, although I know Brand New Vegan actually has a recipe for it. But at the same time, I know I'm weird. I crave the old school Southern breakfast. Yeah. That's my deal.
It's always breakfast for him.
Always. If I could have breakfast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, those are the foods that I would eat.
For me, the first thing that comes to mind when I read that question from childhood, there's a place in St. Louis called Miss Sherry's. It's a cafeteria that literally it's the average age of the people in there is at least 70 to 80, maybe even older.
It's the kind of place where you walk in and literally everything's just in a row and you pick out what you want or you ask for it behind the counter. They have ambrosia salad and classic Midwestern dishes that have no business being in existence.
Chicken divan.
But yeah, they've got chicken divan. That's your big end.
The one thing that I missed from there is their chicken fried steak, and then they also have breaded fried cauliflower.
Oh yeah,
which is so good. They have, which I guarantee you their version is not plant-based.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure really nothing there is
they do have good
plant-based.
Vegetables, and they do limit the amount of sodium because of old people diets. But yeah, that's the one thing, if I could take their recipes and make plant-based versions, that would be my dream. Are you planning to make a cookbook eventually?
Yes.
Yes.
I've got in my head at least 3 different cookbooks. A couple of them are fairly easy to do.
We'll get working on it.
And one of them is quite complicated. It's one of those things that's I've always got it in the back of my mind, especially when I'm developing new recipes for things, because it is something that I'm always sort of conceiving of and trying to work into an outline and all of that. But yes, I do have cookbooks in my head that I want to do.
All right. The next category is basically, we get a lot of questions lately about moving and our living situation and all of that. So the first one was, what have you been doing in Columbus? So we're in Columbus, Ohio, as you guys know, because my cousin Tess, who's carrying our baby, lives here, and she's about to give birth at any minute now. So what have we been doing? We've been really a lot of just hanging out at the house, hanging out at their house, hanging out with them, and Tess and Jeff and their 3 kids. We all got COVID, so that kind of put a damper on going out and about and doing stuff. But we've been doing a lot of walks around the little neighborhood that we have. There's a little park near us with the dogs. I've been working, so I'm still working from home. So I've been doing a lot of work. Brian actually has some work that he's been doing too, that he's able to do remotely from wherever he is. So he's been doing that. What else have we been doing in Columbus? We've been taking baby classes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We took the one class about all about babies, and then we just did a baby CPR class as well. So
the scene is safe.
The scene is safe.
That's the
baby,
first thing
baby, are you okay? You got to tap their little foot. Yeah, that's what we learned.
Yep. That was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I like going in person to classes like that.
And there's plenty of stuff around Columbus that I really want to go see.
Yeah, so I think after we have Elsie, maybe we'll be able to go out and about and walk outdoor places. They have a botanical garden. Maybe we can go walk there, or
Cosi.
or COSI, which is the science center, which my cousin actually used to work there. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff we want to do. There's a museum in Dayton that you want to go to.
Yes.
An aviation museum.
I feel like we're glowing now.
Ooh, we are glowing.
The sun came out.
The sun came out. Now we're glowing. But yeah, so we love Columbus. North Market is one of our favorite places. But
True.
We haven't actually been there yet on this.
Yeah, we need to go there because I need to go to their spice place.
Yeah. Along with that, somebody asked if we're going to be doing any meet and greets in Columbus, and we asked you guys if you have suggestions for somewhere we can meet up, like a park or somewhere like that. Send it in our direct messages on Instagram or Facebook, and then we can hopefully figure something out. Although the COVID thing, we were going to do it like over the last few weeks, and then the COVID thing threw a wrench in that. But yeah. Okay, somebody asked, do you guys even, this is a very aggressive question, do you guys even have your own permanent place of your own to bring your daughter? You seem to be all over the place.
We were in Collinsville, and now we're in Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, and we go to Minnesota for my scans. And we do
also,
not...
all over the place is not a bad thing anyway.
Yeah,
like, we love being all over the place.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, this is the next question that I wrote down on here is, did you move out of Brian's parents' house? They really took on a lot more than they knew. They were bargaining for a crying baby and baby paraphernalia everywhere is a whole other vibe. At least they can walk around there naked in their own home for 2 months. Not a visualization you want to...
No, definitely not. It is funny, though, because my dad actually, when we called him, like, after the first week or two of us being up here, he was just like, yeah, we're just walking around naked, which I know they're not, but it's just funny because...
So, the thing is, like, a lot of you are really obsessed with this idea that we're living with... We moved in with Brian's parents a couple of years ago. It was supposed to be a temporary 6-month thing, and then plans changed, and then I got cancer, and... it actually afforded us the ability to like be a lot more flexible with where I could get my treatment, and could have indeed like saved my life because of some of the stuff that happened with my treatment. It was really good that we actually went to Mayo Clinic for it, and there's just a lot. But a lot of you guys just like, yeah, it's not a traditional thing. It's not whatever. We're not like your traditional, oh my gosh, we have our house and we're like living the picture perfect life right now. But we are working towards stuff, and we have plans in place, and we're trust me, we are working on it, and we are getting closer.
We just got to get baby first before we can move on to the next thing.
It really didn't. We actually have a real estate agent, and we've looked at houses, but we haven't really found anything that we're like, oh my gosh, yes, we have to jump on this. But we also undertook it's expensive undertaking to come stay in Columbus for a couple months. And we wanted to be here close to, my cousin and all that. And so we didn't want to get into a house before we did this. So it's just like, again, we're working on things. We promise.
We are looking for a permanent residence.
Also.
But we don't have one yet.
Also, his parents would love it if we just lived there forever with the baby. They already are just like, oh no, like da 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 da, like they're crazy. They're weird.
My parents love us.
Yeah.
And they love the dogs even more.
I can't even imagine how they're doing without the dogs right now.
Oh god, they're probably so lonely.
They're so bored.
But yes, they will. My dad and my mom would absolutely love having us there, like
with Elsie
for as long as we wanted, or indefinitely. Like
trust me,
they are those types of people.
I want our own space.
But yes, we definitely want our own space. We do not want to keep living with my parents forever. We want to have our own house. I want my own kitchen.
Oh gosh, yes.
That we can set up and organize in the way that we want it. And
I will tell you the most amazing thing about being in Columbus and having our own kitchen. Again, sorry to my in-laws, love you guys, but having an oil-free kitchen again, just like things are so much easier to clean when there's no oil being used anywhere in the kitchen. And so, yeah, I just love my oil-free kitchen. Sorry, I got real excited about that. He's like, whatever. But yeah, no, but it's been great, and we are really appreciative to his parents for allowing us to stay there, and it's been... we thought we were doing it for one reason, and then it actually turned out to help us a lot with dealing with my cancer situation. So it's been great. That's the end.
It was a blessing in disguise.
That's the end of the questions.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm sure we had more questions, but these were just the main ones that we keep getting asked a lot. So we kind of thought we would just wrap them all up in a bow for you guys. But yeah, you want to close this one out?
Sure. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and click the bell that is right next to that subscribe button, and you will get notified whenever we post a new video. You can also find us on social media, Facebook and Instagram. You can send us messages on there, or send us questions that we didn't answer, and we might actually answer them there.
Or we might not.
Or we might not. It depends on how we're feeling and how nice you are in asking us. But yes, you can find us on there and follow along, because we do post other stuff there as well. But I think that's all I got for this one.
That's definitely all I got.
We will see you next time on Crocks in the Kitchen.
Bye.
Bye.